All right. So, Mike, this first question's for you. How rewarding of a feeling is it to, start 60 years ago in your own garage and then, you're celebrating a 50th anniversary. Tell me a little bit about how that feels being able to come back out and perform.
It's literally amazing. I mean, it's a miracle and it's wonderful because, our family was built on music and harmonies. And in fact, my mother came from Kansas and my grandfather Love came from rural Louisiana. The Wilsons had no money. They actually camped on the beach during the Dust Bowl days, which preceded the Great Depression. So this is a long time ago, but they had zero money. But what they did have is talent. They had harmonies, they had music. My uncle sang in a quartet, my mom sang in light opera in a trio. And so it was always all about music. My grandfather Love started working in the sheet metal industry. My grandfather and my father worked during World War II building galleys, actually kitchens for warships. And so he didn't have to go to the war, so therefore I'm here. And so anyway, it's just a combination of hard work and music. And my nephew's Kevin Love he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers after he was with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and then he was in Miami recently. He's plays professional basketball. My brother Stan was in the NBA too. So anyway, it's just
Are they going to be in Greensboro? No.
Yes, we are going to be in Greensboro, but it's a combination of sports and music and hard work, and here we are.
But you mentioned this is their 50th anniversary of Endless Summer.
Yep.
And Mike came up with the whole Endless Summer name, and he did the album and the tracks. But Endless Summer is what turned me on to the Beach Boys. And so for me to be out on this particular tour I just can't believe it. I have to pitch myself.
Yeah, and John used to drive his bike, he told me, by my parents' house and look in the window and see the gold albums and so on the walls.
Until his mom called the police on me, and then that was,
No.
that was it. But I've been a fan, because, and we see these concerts, I've been on the road with them this week. I mean, first of all, thank you to be a little part of this conduit that's getting music out to the masses that need it so bad. I say that I feel like your music was written for this exact moment right now because we need it. I always say discord is at an all-time high and decency at an all-time low, but thank God we have the Beach Boy music to get us through. And it's so evident at these concerts. It's become a family affair, right?
It is. I mean, there are 4 generations literally coming to our shows sometimes. I mean, your great-grandparents, grandparents, their kids, and then the children.
Because it's heart music. That's what I've always called it. It bypasses the brain and goes straight to the heart. And that's why you'll see 9-year-olds and 90-year-olds. And this guy is, may I tell him your age?
Yeah,
he's 52 years old.
52, yeah.
He's 83, and he works harder than every one of us on the stage. He's mad if we're not doing 2 shows a day. And I was looking at our presidential candidates. Why don't you run for president?
No, thank you. My job is a lot more fun.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I was going to say, John, tell us how you got started with the Beach Boys.
Well, I will tell you, I will start and then he can tell you.
No,
he was Blackie on General Hospital when we met him first. And he grew up in Orange County, California, and he played the drums. He loves to play the drums, and he plays them really well, which is surprising,
for an actor.
Anyway, so you tell them.
Well, I just, and I got turned on to Endless Summer, which is the 50th anniversary of that. And my dad had an 8-track cassette player in his car. And somehow I stumbled upon that. I was like, oh, like the heavens opened up. Like, what is this? What is this music?
Yeah.
I was so drawn to it, like I said, because it went boom right here. And then I knew a guitar player in the band. I went to see them. I was really bummed out. A girlfriend, I just caught her in bed with someone else. Tony Danza, to be exact. Read the book. And
yeah, really.
And but my friend said, well, come, maybe you get to meet the Beach Boys someday. And so we were playing this, at this baseball stadium. Well, he was playing at a baseball stadium. And my friend said, come backstage. As soon as fun is over, run backstage because it's, they're going to leave after the encore. So I go back there and I'm running and girls are chasing me on the diamond. And I look up on the big screen and there that little skinny guy like this with like Jordan-ass jeans. And I had a dead crow in my head. I bashed through the backstage area and I'm sweating. And Mike goes, to my friend, he goes, who's that? He said, that's John Stamos. He plays drums. He's on General Hospital. And he says, does the girls scream for him all the time like that? And my friend said, yeah. He goes, get him on stage. And I went on and played Barbara Ann
And he played with us in July 4th in the mid 80s. And there were hundreds of thousands of people there. And so, John has been a part of our life for ever since.
I'm so grateful. And I feel like we were talking about this yesterday, like my brand of good, safe, home cooked meal feeling family entertainment is perfectly merged with the Beach Boys at this point. And so these concerts, is there still tickets? There must be.
Yes, there are a few tickets.
You've got to come see the show because we do 2 hour sets, hour, take a break, hour, and we got to pee and stuff. And it's hit. I mean, sometimes he's got to cut out the hits, but it's a communal experience. It breaks down every barrier, every political barrier, every age barrier, everything. It's just a family of all these people as one that are lifted to this place where we really need to be right now.
Right. It's the worse it gets in the world, and it's pretty sketchy out there, the more positivity is attractive. And we've always accentuated the positive in the music.
Good vibrations, fun.
Yeah.
Optimism. Wouldn't it be nice? Tell me about that thing in London, that study they did about what songs make you the happiest.
Oh, yeah. A guy, a psychologist in Sheffield, England, tested with 2,500 people. He tested a bunch of songs to find out, because he's a psychologist, he wanted to know which songs make people feel the best.
Yeah.
And Good Vibrations came in at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I Get Around came in at 8. Earth, Wind and Fire Earth, Wind and Fire had September was number 10, and there was a Pink in there. There was a Bob Marley in there, but to come in at number 1 for making people feel good, that's quite an honor.
Yeah, I love that. And so, you guys have your docuseries, you have the book now. How does it feel to be able to perform in front of fans now that they may know a side of you guys that they didn't know before?
Well, the Disney Plus has our documentary on it, and that's informed a lot of people about the early origins of the group. It doesn't go all the way up to now, but what it does do is it gives you a really good picture of the family connection between all of us and how it led to these harmonies, and we're obsessed with not only harmonizing, singing the notes, but making a blend. And that blend and those 4-part harmonies attached to that rock and roll beat that Chuck Berry came up with, let's say, well, that made for a special formula. And like I said, I've been the lyricist on many of the songs, and I've always accentuated the positive.
Yeah.
Even if if you fell out of love, or somebody fell out of love with you and you're really devastated, at least you found that happiness at one time in your life. And that part was good. So that's a song called The Warmth of the Sun.
Yeah, and I think you were talking about the documentary, which I thought was really well done, because it really did accentuate the positive. And so many of these documentaries and books on you guys, sometimes they go to the negative. Every band has negative stuff. But what I loved about the documentary was they really highlighted Mike's contribution to the Beach Boys. Sometimes it gets overlooked. And I'm telling you the absolute God's honest truth. And it's not, and this documentary shows that he really was side by side with Brian, writing all those hits. Brian will say it. Everyone in the band will say it. And Mike would come up with the hooks. I'm picking up good vibrations, round, round, get around. I go, Aruba, Jamaica. That's all Mike. And that's what you remember out of those songs. Also, may I say, keep complimenting you, is that when the whole world wanted to be us, a lot of it was the imagery that he was painting with his lyrics about, again, positivity, optimism, Camelot, and the whole world was like, wow, California, look at what's going on over there. And it's, but because of these guys.
There are more American classic cars from the 50s and 60s in East Germany. Used to be East Germany and West Germany. East Germany used to be controlled by the communists, right? Well, there are more classic cars in East Germany than anywhere in Europe. Now, why is that? Because the Beach Boys, we sang about those cars, and they represented America and freedom and something really, powerful.
Yeah, powerful.
And great looking and powerful. So it's
That's
just
you.
Well, no, not really, but we sang about cars as well as the girls, California girls,
Different lifestyles.
Yeah.
Surfing, cars.
Yeah.
But oh, sorry, but I want to tell them what they're going to see, because
that was my next question.
So again, it's just everyone's uplifted, but bring your kids. I do stuff from Full House. We sing forever. We show videos and stuff. And then it's just, I don't care how old you are when you walk in there, when you walk out, you're gonna be a teenager and you're gonna be uplifted with love and positivity.
And even little kids, they get a glimpse into their immediate future, you know,
Right.
with Wouldn't It Be Nice and,
Yeah.
God Only Knows and,
I
you know,
think,
so it's a really great experience, I
yeah, and you
think.
never know, I mean, this guy will tour until he's 117, but you know, you never know when the Beach Boys are gonna come around to your town, especially in that beautiful place we're playing over there. And
Tanger Center, yeah.
and I'm not with
mhm.
them all the time, so if you want to see the Beach Boys and, you know, some
And
ex-teen
John
idol
Sam.
hamming it up, get tickets soon.
No,
Yeah.
he does play it on stage. He plays the drums, you know. Sometimes you get a guest drummer and you say, that just ain't right. And but he's into it and has been into it for 50 years now.
Playing with the Beach Boys has been, next to my wife and my son, is the greatest thing that has ever happened to me in my life. And I'm so grateful to you, Mike. And I'm so grateful to the fans that have been coming out. The shows have been sold out. We played, what, the last 2
We
days?
played in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, which is great. It was beautiful. And we're in Asheville now, but we're heading to Roanoke on the way to Greensboro.